mecca, built in the early 1900s, now produces Ford Mustangs. But it wasn't always like that. Henry Ford had a vision to produce steel. He figured that this area, just 3 miles north of the Detroit River, was an ideal place to produce steel. Getting iron ore from northern Michigan and Minnesota, getting the soft coal from Kentucky and West Virginia just met the two to the Rouge plant. Up the Great Lakes, into the Detroit River, down the Rouge River, into the foundry and steel. Also, this place could be used as a feeder for parts going on out to Highland Park. It was a railroad spur that ran from Dearborn just north of Highland Park. We're going to be on tour today. We're going to talk about some of the history of the Rouge plant and some of the magnificent things that went on here ever since Ford did purchase this property in 1915 for $700,000. There's 2,000 acres of industry, of a product, of raw materials that came in the door and a product that went out the door. Whose office buildings were making this magnificent plan happen as comes out of these doors. But we're going to go through the famous Gate 4, the world famous Gate 4 off of Miller Road, right here at the Rouge plant. As you can see some of the buildings from the foundries, some of the other old buildings and some of the new buildings. We're going to tour them today so you get an idea, a little taste of history of the Ford Motor Company Rouge plant. We're going to go in through the gate right now. Got a light here to stop at. We're going to be able to turn right here on right, and we're going to go through this Gate 4 Rouge complex. Through the famous Gate 4 complex. Here it is. We're in here at Ford Motor Company, and we're going to go down some of the special places that this place holds sacred. This, as we first come across railroad tracks, they have trains now here that are remote controlled and operated. There is over 24 miles of trains here at the Rouge plant. You can just see some of the tracks and some of the trains now. You can see the employees leaving Dearborn Assembly, which used to be Building B. Building B was the assembly building for the first product that came out of the Rouge plant, which wasn't an automobile itself, or a truck, or a tractor. What it was the Liberty Boat. The Liberty Boat was a subchaser during World War I, and it was produced in this building here on the right, which is now Dearborn Assembly. Building B. The boats came out and went right down the slip, right into the sea, into the Okay, some of the steel producing buildings are here on the right. We have the rolling mill and the open heart furnaces. You see some of the scrap metal that's used in the steel making process. Rolling along also in the days when wood was used. The sawmill was in this area, and the wood wharf was right here up here on our left, which will be shown in a minute. Stop. Switch to the slip that brings the raw materials into the mighty Rouge and Rouge steel. As you can see that there's drawbridges. Henry Ford had this area drudged to allow ships from the Great Lakes to enter the Rouge complex. The area that we're driving through right now was the wood wharf. This is where all the wood was dropped off from all the lumber mills throughout Michigan and the United States. So we're gonna move back up now up this slip, and on the right side there you see the foundry. The foundry was the most impressive single unit here at the Rouge plant when it was built. It not only did all of the castings and forgings, but also did a lot of the machining that went along with it. There were 32 different groups of machine tools, each unit passing through a series of tool operations here at the Rouge. You can see the coke bins are right there on our right, with the foundry right behind it, and the coke ovens. The coke ovens are the tall buildings, tall silo type buildings on the coke ovens. As the ships come down the slip, they docked and they were unloaded with all the raw materials used to produce steel. See how massive this area is. You can see the cranes used to pick the raw materials and put them in cars and ship them to the appropriate spot here at the Rouge for manufacturing processes. By the way, I was seeing all the water. Ford Motor Company has its own water treatment plant, and in making sure that today and yesterday that all the water is environmentally safe. Now we're moving out of the slip area, and the building right in front of us is the glass plant. Ford is one of the largest producers of plate glass in the United States. And some of the glasses that we see in our cars and in our doors is manufactured here at the Rouge plant. Dearborn Assembly Plant water treatment we just spoke about earlier. So now we're going to go by the old Building B, which is now Dearborn Assembly. The Liberty boat was first produced here, Ford tractors, Model Ts. This is not the home of the Model T. This is the home of the Model A. But it's an obsession at the beginning of Ford Motor Company. The Liberty boat, the tractor, and the Model T was produced here. In this building here, 800 units of Model Ts were produced, 300 sedans, and 500 touring cars. Today, Mustangs are produced here. And through the years, full-size Fords were basically produced here. You can see the various items, windshield washer solvent tanks for production of automobiles for the Mustang. And as we move in the back of Dearborn Assembly, you'll be able to see the new Mustangs out being loaded on a railroad car. Stop. Here's where they load on the new Mustangs onto the train right now. They're not doing any loading, but we will continue and move over to the glass area. This is the glass plant, the back of the glass plant, Dearborn glass plant. I don't know what else to say. See, that's what I'm saying. Drive past.
Yeah.
What we're going to next is the Ford stamping plant. Right now, we're stamping out pieces of stampings for automobiles. That's the stamping plant. Yeah, like this for a building. Right. Run a tunnel. Got a stamping plant. Steel, the building on the right is Dearborn engine plant and fuel tank, and that's where the 1.9 engine is now produced. today, and all the fuel tanks for all the Ford vehicles. And then the building on the right is the Ford tool and die plant. All the dies and tools are used to produce automobiles built in that plant. I'm going to go back through the stamping plant. So his truck, just to stop. You see some of the unique vehicles that are here. Trucks and vehicles that can pick up steel. Back to underneath the stamping plant, way on the stamping plant. And to our right, you can see the rolls of steel. That was produced over at the steel mill, now in rolls, ready to be a fender or a hood or a Mustang or an automobile. During the war, the Rouge plant, during World War II, the Rouge plant, said during World War I, it was used to produce nuclear boats. During World War II, they produced Jeeps here and some tanks. You know, in 1929, it's hard to believe, but they had 98,000 people working here. They used to have their own fire department, police department, security department, and medical department. Today, the city of Dearborn usually provides all of those services. Back. Here we have boundary area. Blast furnaces. First blast furnace here at the Rouge plant was lit by Henry Ford's second.